Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are delighted to welcome you to the CyberCon Conference 2021 in these lovely premises of the Scala Cinema. My name is Carolina, and I am your mistress of ceremony for today. As you might know, CyberCon Conference has a long tradition. This year, it is the 7th iteration of this marvelous event. But this year is quite special. For the first time ever, we organized the International Day where we can discuss interesting and also challenging cybersecurity topics with our international guests. I believe you will enjoy the CyberCon conference as much as I will. Now, let's welcome our director, Mr. Karla Řehky, on the stage, who is going to have a keynote speech and officially open this event.
So hello to everyone. I scrambled a few notes, so I won't have any formal keynote speech, but I will bring a couple of points before we start. I'm really glad that we could meet here in this in-person format, and I think it's a relief for everyone that we can finally meet in person, not just over the video. So I'm really happy and really thrilled to be here and to be able to start the conference. So welcome everyone. As you noticed, and it was already mentioned, we try to develop, and part of the development goes also to this conference. So we expanded it from 2 days to 3 days on purpose, and we try to put more subjects into it and also make it international. So I also want to thank all the organizers from our office or from our agency, but also all the speakers who paid the attention and who made the effort to come here. So I would like to have an applause to organizers of this conference, please. And I know there has been a huge effort of many people to make this work, so thank you very much. Okay, there's been a lot of developments in cybersecurity in Czech Republic over the last year. Not only in our agency, but overall in the whole country. Obviously, we all witnessed this COVID pandemic, which was really bad, and it is still really bad. But one of the good things about the COVID was that it brought the cybersecurity to the attention. I think more and more people realized that it's really important because we were all forced to move to cyberspace. Everyone, all the families, kids, schools, shopping, everything. So people started to realize more how important it is. And the huge wake-up call was the attacks on the hospitals, which basically put out of operation second largest hospital in the country during this pandemic. And that was a huge wake-up call. And not only for people, but also for politicians. And the cybersecurity really became the topic and priority. We witnessed the sharp increase in cyber incidents and attacks during the COVID, which some of that is related to the pandemic, and it's natural because there was more movement in the digital space. A lot of people, organizations, companies had to transfer everything to cyberspace without proper preparation. So we could expect that. But I think it would happen anyway. Maybe it wouldn't be, the jump would be so huge, but it would happen anyway because we are digitalizing our society, also our public sector, and that brings the more burden on the cybersecurity. So it's a natural development. We are also developing as the agency. We had our government approved last August. It approved this roadmap for NÚKIB, which is called Concept of Development, but it's basically the strategy to move the NÚKIB forward. When I arrived to the office last March 2020, we had about 220 people. Now we have about 270 people, so we increased 50 people. And also what is significant is that we have 98% of slots filled. So we're pretty filled with people, and it's great. People want to work in NÚKIB, and I really appreciate that. Also, it's not about NÚKIB at all. The cybersecurity is the teamwork of the whole society. So what is really the most significant is that we have also a new national cybersecurity strategy, and we have the action plan approved. The strategy itself, as you probably all know, was approved last November, in the end of November, by the government. And this year we had approval of the implementation plan, which is the action plan to the strategy. And that's significant because it gives us the main compass and also the roadmap for the whole country for the next 5 years. Or at maximum 5 years. It could be shorter depending on the circumstances. It can be reviewed based on the conditions. I think it is pretty well done strategy. It's a team effort. It's the whole country strategy. It's not NÚKIB strategy. And I would say the main themes of the whole strategy is the whole of society approach and cooperation. And that's really, really, really key. And it became also one of my priorities when I came to NÚKIB as a new director. I had a couple of lines of operations to take, and the first one and the number one priority was the communication and cooperation. And we still have a long way to go, but I think we are improving gradually, and we're trying to increase the communication because it is really, really important to get people on the board and to work as a team. So we established a new department. Maybe you notice we are a little bit more active on social media and in media space. And also we do a lot of awareness activities. Not that we started now, we do it for a long time, but we're trying to increase that. And that's the courses. We also made a lot of courses, online courses available for free for public, and that's important. Also, one of the tools for communication and cooperation are those conferences like CyberCon. So we take part in many different conferences. Actually, September is full of them because everyone moved it to September. But also CyberCon is our main vehicle from our standpoint. It's our own conference next to the 5G conference. So that's why we put a lot of effort into it, and that's why we want to increase the scope of the conference. We will, as I mentioned we will also go on with the 5G conference. It will happen on 30th November to 1st December this year. And it will also move the topic a little bit forward and will pay more attention to the emerging disruptive technologies in relation to the 5G security. The strategic issues I think we still have, and it's my personal view, what we will really have to look at more closely in a close future, but it will take some time, is the lack of cybersecurity specialists. And that's really a huge problem, not only in our country, it's everywhere around the world. And it's not only in the public sector, it's also in the private sector. And we need a comprehensive strategy, and we need to have concrete steps to move forward. And it's not only about NÚKIB, it's about everyone. And that's really a strategic problem. It's an issue, and it will get us if we don't cope with it. So hopefully, and that needs to be, again, that needs to have strategic attention and needs to go from the government level down. But that's one of the areas where I will want to put some effort into it in future. Also, what the current situation shows is that we will also have to reconsider our IT infrastructure within the state, because I'm not sure whether with the increase we have, whether we can just follow the same direction and same path. I think we'll have to look at the efficiency and protectability of our state portion of the cyberspace. And also, one of the things which I believe we need to work on is the cooperation between the private and public sector. And don't get me wrong, we do a lot of that. We try to cooperate, we communicate with companies, but I think we need to all, and it's not just Czech Republic, but especially here, we need to move this forward and we need to operationalize this cooperation. And that's from everything, research development, but also things like sharing the threat information, detection of attacks, all the way to attribution. So I think that's one of the areas we'll have to work on in future, all of us. If you look at the cybersecurity situation and trends, obviously we all noticed that the increase of cyber attacks is there. There was a really steep increase. It's not only increase in numbers, it's also increase in sophistication and the complexity of the attacks. And that goes to all institutions. So the attackers don't recognize only one area of targets. It goes across the society. And it's the big state institutions, but it's also the local administrations, universities, academia, private sector, everyone. One of the things which really everyone noticed in the last year or during the last year was the attacks on the hospitals and on the healthcare sector. And I wanna spend a little bit of time on that. It is really, really important because we know, it has direct impact on people's lives. And you probably noticed that we issued a warning also during last year, and we did a number of activities to safeguard the hospitals. The problem is that cybersecurity in the healthcare sector started quite late. It was underestimated for a very long time. It was under-resourced, and you cannot fix it quickly. But we need to fix it because that's really where the impact can be seen very, very quickly. And we already have cases from the world where people died as a result of the attacks on hospitals. So that's definitely one of the important areas. It also became political priority, so we get a lot of tasking and attention from the political level, and it's not that far ago when I even briefed the government on the results of the security audits in some of the hospitals, and there is attention paid to this healthcare sector. It is a persistent threat, and we all have some experience with it right now, and we do a number of activities to change that. We completely changed the regulation, and we changed it in a very, very short time. So the number of the regulated, from the cybersecurity standpoint, the regulated hospitals increased, nearly tripled. And also the regulation is more sophisticated. So it takes into account more the regional geographical coverage, more specialties and things like that. So that's one of the areas. We also did all the complex cybersecurity audits on the biggest hospitals. And we do a number of other supporting activities like education, awareness, online courses specialized for healthcare personnel. We'll have the health check exercise, which will be focused on best practices and lessons from the previous attacks, put on not only the IT and cybersecurity staff, but also on the management and communicators and others in hospitals. So that will be a significant event. We also started initiatives like trying to create some kind of cooperation between the cybersecurity people in different hospitals so they can meet regularly and share the experience. And there's a number of other activities we do. We're also active in the international field in this, and if I just mention obviously the presidency in the EU Council will be the big thing, but also if I focus on the healthcare sector, you maybe noticed that there was a declaration issued by the High Representative Joseph Borrell on behalf of the EU on malicious cyber activities exploiting the COVID pandemic. That was also a little bit initiated by a situation we had here, and we cooperated in that. Also, as you know, there's a cyber law international toolkit, which is activity which is going on for years, and we played important role as the Czech Republic in initiating that, and we have people who are working on that, and I think you will be briefed during this conference. But why I'm mentioning is that also this year is focused on the healthcare sector. So there's, it's a concern not only in our country and everywhere, and we try to contribute. And also the reason why I'm mentioning that is because I want to advertise a little bit in advance. You will witness in the afternoon the launch of this new project. It's quite a unique project, and it's called Protecting the Healthcare Sector from Cyber Harm. And it's a joint activity, and we are very proud that we could contribute and be one of the founders, together with the Czech Ministry of Foreign Affairs, together with Microsoft company, and with Cyber Peace Institute. It is unique. It is focused on trying to figure out and trying to implement concrete steps to raise the resilience of the medical facilities, and the whole philosophy is to take the multi-stakeholder approach and multi-stakeholder cooperation to increase that. So I would probably stop there. You will see that in the afternoon. I think the conference will be really, I would say, helpful, hopefully, to all of us. And I think there will be some interesting things in next 3 days. So again, thank you very much to all the organizers, everyone from communicators, organizers, speakers, people standing at the door, and everyone else. It's a team effort, and I very much appreciate it. Thank you very much to organizers. And I wish you all to have a successful conference, and hopefully it will pay off, and you will get some interesting time here. So thank you. I wish you the good conference, and remember, especially the students, we have new positions from January, and NÚKIB is the best place to work. So thank you.